Look at this delicious combo up here. Now, I'm not talking about the houses just yet. I'm just talking about over here where the 1 is at and the 7 is at. It's the first person and it's the 7th person, right? Think about it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. No, you when you only hear there's only 7 left. You better be for sure that you at the front of that motherfucking line grabbing your motherfucking shit. Be either 1 through 7 in fucking line. Slucky. Slucky. You know what I'm saying? You meet people here, and it's not everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not strangers and shit. Because right here is, it's people that you grew some type of relationship with. And we can say this part right here could be like on a constant level of life, like constantly meeting people. And then, but if we say that, then it'll be different, right? But it's not constantly meeting people. It's meeting people you know. But sometimes it just can be, and it could be people that comes into your life, right? That you meet. The 7th house got like another effect to it too, where it's like the cardinal energy. Yeah. The 7th house is the realm of flexibility. Right? There's always reasoning, there's always options. Like you gotta think about the 7th house like that too. Like it's always options. There's always reasonings. That's why they want you to sign contracts. So you be like, you just sign it and then, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta worry about, if we wanted to do that or not. Just sign it. Because we 1 minute we might like you, the next minute we might hate you. 1 minute we might want to just do it all off, just out of kindness, right? Because the 7th house represents being charming. So it can be like people were being real kind to each other and they just did things off handshakes and shit. And that shit wasn't working no more. And they, paperwork came into the process and shit like that. Motherfuckers start acting like they give a fuck about the paperbacks now. Of whatever assets that they have. Things that they gather and shit. Things that you really don't know. And that's where you gotta watch people, because people now, over time the 7th house has improved itself, but of course there's more things that go on in this world, right? So it's more things that's added to the 7th house. Going to a high-tech fancy restaurant, can't say that during a certain particular time back then that was added to the 7th house. Because but say if you have like a 7th house and you have planets in that 7th house, that 7th house is going to be activated. It's going to give, like say if you got Mars there, it's gonna give the energy of rushing people though, without you feeling like I ain't rushing you. a Saturn. Like, I ain't trying to be tough on you. A Mercury. Like, I ain't trying to do all that talking. But I'm just talking. Shit like that. So now that you know what these houses are capable of doing, now the one, we did that one, now we talk about the 7. Now let's go dive into these planetary energies that's sitting up in these areas of this space, right? And then we kind of can pick up the vibe. But let's just pick up the vibe first of these 2 planets and these 2 planets in opposition to each other. And then I just do an example because, I don't want to have to go through all 12. Because we can pick a lot up just from talking about just how these 4 planets are pairing against each other. So next up on the list, we talk about the 2 planetary energies that I spoke about. And that's going to be the Moon and Mars. And then we're going to jump over here and we're going to talk about the Sun and we're going to talk about Venus. Okay? Just touching on them just a little bit and then we move forward. Okay, so right here, you can clearly see that the Moon and Mars is in the same sign, right? Close degrees, same degree around this time right here that I put on the paper. These 2 signs are magnanimous in its ways, right? I'm talking about we have a little bit of that divine energy and we have some of that aggressive initiation. So the emotions, it depends on look. When these 2 things come in a combo, you're gonna have the emotional drive. You know what I'm saying? You can be in the zone. You could do something, you know what I'm saying, working out, doing your favorite activity, completing something that takes for you to be in the zone. And knowing who you are, you know what I'm saying, type of stuff. Like how you assert your emotions. Just being aware of that. Like I need to be aware of how much I climax over certain situations that I deal with. Making sure that I don't go, making sure that I don't go overboard. So, when those 2 energies are combined with each other and they're close by, we just need to relax, calm down, and allow for our emotions to settle down. As you can see in the first house right here as a demonstration, we have the Moon and we have Mars right here together, creating a conjunction, almost like at a 0-degree conjunction, okay? We did look over earlier the 7th house capabilities. They have 2 planets over there that's doing their thing. We're gonna get to them. We're going to get to these planets. We're going to go back over here, though, to the first, where the Moon and Mars is located. just to let you know, both of these energies carry some type of aura. One is more of a psychic, intaking, embracing, you know what I'm saying, soul type of, inner emotional, you know, okay, Mars is, so keep it right there. I say inner, emotional, and then we talk about Mars. Check it out. Emotional drive, emotional aggressiveness. Take it easy, try to keep your hands to yourself. If you plan anything like that, try not to get too rough. The emotions, you know what I'm saying, with Mars. You speaking with great courage, you speaking with great might, but make sure you don't get tricked up by other people who trying to trick people up out there either, because people could be trying to trick people, people can be highly sexually, emotionally active too. So, especially it could be, like relationships, separate from one another. Have to be careful around this time, right? Love each other. You know what I'm saying? So you get over the hurdles, you get over the battles, you get over the humps, you get over the stumps. Remember the love, because things can be trying to tear away. It's how strong is the bond. You know what I'm saying? When we think about these things, because when we look across the street, we're gonna go ahead and see why I say how strong is this bond, right? And don't worry about the 1 and the 7. Just know that the Mars, the Moon, right? Then over in this quadrant, Sun and Venus, okay? They both are interacting. So we'll talk about the finalization of how this energy in the 7th house is relating to that first energy in the 1st house. The 7th house. Over here we have the planetary energies of the Sun and of Venus. Okay? Sun and Venus are beautiful energies that have a greater chance in meeting each other, right? So this is automatically telling us all that huffing and puffing that somebody was doing on their emotions, you're not even feeling that way, right? Because the Sun is in a particular sign and Venus is in a particular sign. They're both real close to each other. Sign at the end is Sagittarius. So, if they chilling in this sign of Sagittarius, and then we got other people over here chilling in this quadrant. Not other people, I'm sorry, your emotions and how quick you're able to react. Then we just need to be careful, right? Because what can trigger this, right? We can trigger these emotions, your emotions and emotions, you know what I'm saying? It must got something connected to the Sun, you, and how you love, or how you receive love, right? How you pulling the love in, how you releasing the love out. If you're getting it, you know what I'm saying, you're enjoying yourself, everything's fine, you can harmonize, you can balance, you can relate. You feel like time is, is very non-existent. It's just y'all under the rainbow, or the situation is just under the rainbow. Or you can feel the opposite. Besides being over the rainbow, you can feel like you're under the rainbow, right? Going through these type of areas of life where it's inner, everything's so inner, like the expression, besides it flowing, it's also deep and full of, nasty, pity, nasty words, right? Because Sag is a blunt sign, Gemini is a careless talker. So when this shit is not homing up, we can behave in nasty ways with each other and say nasty things. Let's be nice to each other this season. Let's express beautiful energy full of joy, love, and happiness. Let's get along. Let's learn how to turn the other cheek and gallop along the beach line together, learning how to let things go and how to enjoy ourselves. Learning that you will get another day to get it right. And yes, this probably not the right time to even talk about the, you know what I'm saying, all those big old things that feel like it feels so strange. Everybody that's in this energy, the sun, the Venus, you know, Venus is really there, the moon is there. They don't want to, look, they don't want no smoke. Everybody really want the emotions to be gathered up in a big old ball, and you can just roll it across the sea while the wind blows it up into the air. How far, who knows? It's just floating now. The rhythm is high. You hear the hoofs hit the motherfucking sand, tucked away nicely. You have a good time and you enjoy yourself on this full moon coming around on December the 7th. Tell someone something mighty, high, positive, and allow for that person to be optimistic about the things that they want to take on emotionally. But also, don't get out of control trying to chase something wild, because maybe, just maybe, the gravy is too thick and hot. Till then, till next time, you take care of yourself.